In this video, I want to talk about emotional maturity and 3 ways to stop losing your shit in your relationships. All right. So if you're new here, I'm Bryce. I'm a life coach and I struggled with emotional maturity. I struggled with having healthy conflict in my relationship. And I wanted to share 3 tips that were able to help me learn how to start having better communication, better conversation, so that you're not losing your shit and overreacting and going off the deep end and saying things that you don't mean. All right. So the first tip that helped me to stop losing my shit and to become more emotionally mature was to learn how to emotionally regulate myself. Okay. Now, before you click off the video, let me go ahead and just tell you what this means. All right. So you have a clear understanding. So emotional regulation is the ability to manage and influence your own emotional states, including when you experience them, how intense they are, and how you express them, allowing you to respond to situations constructively rather than being overwhelmed. Okay, that sound familiar? When the moment just gets the best of you? Okay, so this is why it's key to learn how to get yourself back grounded. This is one of the most important things that I learned how to do on my journey. And I'm not going to go all into how I started to do this. I will do a separate video on that if that's something that you're interested in. Just leave me some comments below and let me know if you'd like me to do a video on how to regulate your emotions. Okay. So it's important to learn how to regulate your emotions and how to get yourself back to zero, because when you're able to do that, you're responding rather than reacting, but you're also coming from a place of self-control. You're not coming from this autopilot, automatic way of responding. For example, when somebody says something to you and you feel that hit of disrespect, and it's like, I need to say something back. It's almost like you're not slowing down enough. You're not pausing enough to really understand what's going on inside yourself. Okay. You're just going from somebody said something to you to, I need to automatically check this person and just react. So it's really key, especially in relationships, man. This is what I had to learn, to be able to get yourself back calm so that you can actually have a dialogue with your lady or with your man or whoever it might be. Because when we're in those heightened states, when we're in that triggered state, you are not yourself. You are coming from old wiring. You were coming from your old operating system, and it may take over you and start to drive the car. Okay. So it's really important to learn how to regulate your emotions so that you are responding from a place of calm and not chaos. Now, the second tip that I have for you and how to stop losing your shit in your relationships and to start improving your emotional maturity is to start improving your self awareness. Okay. Now, how this helps you in your relationships and how it can keep you from like losing yourself when you get in conflict is that the more awareness you have of yourself, the more control you have of your responses to things. So I struggled with this. And what I mean by self awareness and what I struggled with, I mean, I wasn't able to see myself. I wasn't able to see how my behaviors or my reactions to things were really impacting my lady, impacting, maybe coworkers or even my children at times. So it's really important to work on self-awareness and work on being able to see outside of yourself. A lot of us can't see ourselves. We don't really see how things affect us. So the more awareness you have of yourself, you're able to have a clearer understanding of how something may be affecting your emotional state, which in turn is going to dictate how you choose to respond. So it's really key to work on improving self awareness. Okay. And again, if you want me to go into how to improve this, just leave me some comments and I'll make a standalone video on how I was able to improve that. Okay. But back to why self awareness is so important, man. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know how things affect you, and when I say things, I mean what people say, what people do. If you're not able to slow down enough and really assess what is going on inside of you, you will be a slave to all of your reactions to things. Okay, let me know if this is making sense. All right. If you're not able to improve your awareness, you will be pulled whether you want to or not. You'll be pulled into a reaction. It's almost like you don't really have control over how you're wanting to respond. It's like the moment is getting the best of you, and then you start operating from maybe you had a traumatic upbringing as a kid. Maybe you saw some wild shit. You never saw how to have healthy conflict. So that is what's going to pour out of you if you lack self-awareness. It's going to be them automatic responses. So you want to get yourself to a place where you have more control over how you choose to respond in your relationships. There's nothing worse than something small in your relationship happening and then you blow it up because you've lost control of yourself. And now you're saying things and doing things that you don't mean. That's why self-awareness is so key. If this video is providing you with any value so far, please smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more content like this, all right? Now, for this third tip, I had to learn how to stop taking things personally, okay? I didn't realize how much I was taking things personally in my relationship. And what I realized is how much taking things personally, this shit bleeds over into everything, bro. Every relationship, every dynamic, especially if you're unaware that it's happening. Hell, your kid could say something to you and you take it personally because it's hitting something deep inside of you. Maybe where, like, say, for example, like your kid talks back to you or something, right? And if you grew up like me, you weren't allowed to talk back to your parents, adults, or anything like that. So that may trigger something in you. And before you know it, you're taking what your kid said to you personally, and now you're overreacting to your kid. Maybe you're going off in the deep end, yelling at them, kind of just overreacting, okay? But also taking things personally in the relationship, man. I struggle with this quite a bit. I realized that I was taking everything like not everything, but a lot of the things my partner would say, it would just offend me. It would make me defensive. It would always make me feel like I had to over explain myself. And I would do this in an unhealthy way. You know, you get to a point where it's almost like, I'm tired of explaining, you're not understanding. And then, you know, your tone can change. You can get a bit more aggressive than you would like to be. And that's what I mean by the self-control, by the self-awareness. And when you're taking everything personally, this can really ruin your relationships, man. Not every battle has to be fought. Not everything has to be a battle. But what really helped me in learning how to stop taking things personally was this book I read called The Four Agreements. And it really taught me that nothing anybody really does or says is about me. And what this did, it allowed me to shift my perspective and my mindset about things. Yes, somebody can still say something, do something, and you may feel that initial sting like shit. You know, that feels personal. You talking right to me. But when you can get deeper and you can start to understand that we're all just a reflection of our upbringing, our conditioning. So sometimes people may say things to you, man, and it's a reflection of how they came up, how they were brought up. So once you can start to really understand this, you can kind of free yourself from the sting of what people say and what people do to you. And that's what the Four Agreements taught me. It says something in that book about how whenever you take things personally, it's one of the most selfish things you can do because you're making everything about you. And you coming from your ego. And once you realize that you're doing this, man, it's so freeing because you give yourself the power of choice. You can start to choose how you want to respond to things, but you have to know how things are hitting you first. And that's why you got to improve your self-awareness, man. That's why you have to learn how to know yourself, man. But check out that book, The Four Agreements. All right. It's a very powerful book. It's a thin book, quick read, but it'll change your life. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my playlist on emotional intelligence so that you can dive deeper into improving your emotional maturity so that you can also improve the quality of your relationships. All right. So I'll be sure to leave that playlist on the screen for you, and I will see y'all there. Peace.